Hello Aquarius, welcome back to my channel. I am Mariana and I will do the vibes inside for you today. If you're returning to my channel, thank you so much for still supporting me and being here. If you're new, welcome to my little corner of the YouTube land. I read about, I want to say, a self-discovery journey somehow, or maybe figuring out it like deeper layers of consciousness. If you find yourself in a situation where you think that something needs to change, or you feel like you are changing or something, maybe there could be something in this reading for you. Okay, today I have this color for you today. I hope you can see it if I put it closer. It's supposed to be or show a mix of green and blue, like a turquoise, but still with green in it. I don't know if I got the color correct here, but this is the color I was shown. So I looked for stuff in my apartment that could actually bring that color forward, but and I feel like this is the only one that actually shows maybe that kind of coloring, the layering between like a baby blue, baby light blue, and a green, light green color. So somehow I feel like it has to do with a chakra that could be well, between the throat chakra and the heart chakra, and in that area we have the higher heart chakra. So maybe you will have some profound experiences, opening up something quite new for you, Aquarius. We have an upcoming conjunction at the end of July, a profound one, a rare one, a big one. It's a very rare one. I believe that other astrologers say that this has not happened maybe within thousands of years. So this is really rare. So maybe you can pay attention what you are observing or what is happening in your life around that time. So this will be around the 1st of August. We will have a conjunction between Uranus and the North Node and Mars. So this is a high-profile conjunction that is mission-oriented or purpose-oriented, you could say. Maybe something is going to stir up around your higher heart chakra, or your throat chakra, your heart chakra, and in between. There could be new knowledge, but I feel it's not just knowledge. The heart is involved here as well. So maybe also a time where it could be a great time to try to open your heart a little bit, to be more trusting, allow yourself to trust, or to practice trust, maybe, or practice compassion, maybe. I put it on the table where I got the words upside down, so I'm a little bit curious whether something may come up as upside down, or it comes up as wrong. You know, like Aquarius, you're a fixed sign. You can be quite determined in your beliefs. Like you don't necessarily just change them. And somehow I get the feeling maybe something may come in here that feels like a disturbance, maybe. It feels like it's wrong, like upside down, like someone or something got it wrong. But maybe it comes in this way for you, so that you also check yourself, right? You check yourself whether you got something wrong, maybe whether you got something um, upside down. And I know, well, I have my Aquarius in my chart as well, so I'm familiar with the idea of maybe letting go of certain beliefs or changing them. But a spiritual awakening is all about that. It's all about making you see something you haven't seen before, making you know something you haven't known before. Sometimes literally putting something upside down, right? This could also talk about like that someone changes their maybe way of communicating, or as I say, this should actually have the color of like this, like a more green turquoise, a blue, light blue, baby blue color. So that there could be a change of heart here. There could be a flipping of perspective, maybe that wants to come in for you, or allows you to see something from an entirely different perspective, or you see someone change, like you see someone literally, like they have changed so much. Maybe you will meet with someone and they have literally changed everything about them into something else, right? Maybe it's not a person, maybe it's not a situation that you are familiar with at this point in time. Maybe it's your own situation that literally shifts from one to another. With Mars in the midst, in this conjunction, I want to say it can be quite potent. It can be, Uranus is the awakener, right? That shakes us up to see something here. So whatever may come in could have like a masculine approach to it, like a force of some sense, or a fire, a force, something that wants to do something. This is a general reading, so I cannot say exactly what may come up for you. It can be small, it can be big, it can be internal, it can be external. But I just get the feeling that something may happen that actually literally switches something, or it wants to show you something from an entirely different perspective. Something you may need to see or learn. Remember, this conjunction happens for everyone, not just you, Aquarius, but Uranus is in the midst here, is potent, and Uranus is called the Great Awakener because we say that it connects with Aquarius energy. I believe Saturn and Uranus does, both of them do. But Aquarius is definitely your sign, or connected with your sign. Uranus wants us to see something new, something we haven't seen before, wake us up from the slumber, like makes us see more, or new. There could be a sense of expansion, because the North Node indicates, you could say, our direction in life. That's the compass, right? And I have been reading for um, well, I believe this the readings I've done this time, this sequence of readings this time, that there's an element of something about the compass, like have lost the compass somehow, and maybe regaining it. That could also be what this is about. It shifts something, because this can talk about, let's say, that you have been living from a lack mentality. And maybe this, what may come in here, is now shifting everything around, that allows you to see something new, that allows you to connect somehow with something else. And maybe actually shifts your perspective, because it's that potent, I want to say. Jupiter in Aries still, a fiery, impulsive energy is still here. Saturn retrograding. Old stuff may come up, old life lessons may come up. And Uranus here to kind of shake us into maybe taking the new leap, right? Makes us see something, but in order to make maybe a new leap of faith, taking that new leap of faith, we may need to shift something, right? We may need to see something in a different perspective. That's what I feel like. I also get the feeling of, because the heart is mixed in with this, like the green color also mixes in here. It's not just only consciousness. So there could be a debate also, heart over mind, mind over heart. Like, what is in charge of your destiny here? Or what is in charge of your behavior, your choices, your beliefs, and what you are now maybe like going towards? Which one is there a battle here somehow? Do I have a battle feeling, or do I have a compromising feeling somehow? And for Aquarius being a very air-oriented, mind-oriented space, there could be something about the connection with the heart. When that becomes involved in your situation, this changes, that you cannot just operate from the conscious air mind space. The heart represents also the body, right? It's like maybe you will have a stronger sense of connection with your body, like returning home, in the sense like home being your body, right? You exist via your body on earth, right? I believe for Aquarius, and maybe I'm wrong, you can just correct me, just comment in the section below if you feel like it. But in my experience, Aquarius energy can be a little bit like a lot mind, like a lot of consciousness, a lot of mind, and sometimes ignoring the body, like ignoring the emotions, sensations, the needs of the body, especially if you've been living from a lack consciousness. You like literally ignoring the body and the needs of the body, and there could be maybe a stronger connection coming up. Needing to like connect, could be more caring, maybe. That you exist on earth, you have this human experience here with your body, in your body, not just from your mind space. There are certain things that you can only experience with a body. There are certain emotions, there are certain sensations, there are certain sensitive like the touch of everything can only be experienced with a body, not just through mind, not just through videos or pictures. Sometimes you literally have to stand with your feet in the water at the beach to get a real sensation of what it means to bathe in the water by the sea. You cannot just watch a photo or video, right? There could be something about letting the senses open up maybe to something here. And maybe that experience changes something here for you. Something you have always thought, like something you have always been quite certain about, perhaps. But if you allow something new to, I want to say, touch you, it can change something here, right? Take it how it resonates. Anything that has to do with maybe bodily sensation. It could be the food you eat, or simply something like mindfulness, like the touch of everything. Is it cold? Is it frozen? Is it hot? Is it smooth and even? Or is it not? Is it becoming more aware? Every time you eat something, maybe take just a second or two to just touch whatever. If you're eating a raisin, just get in tune with maybe the texture of the raisin in your mouth, right? When it mixes with saliva, right? Just let it touch you. I want to say, let life touch you, maybe something like that. Let the world, let yourself be touched by it, or allow it to touch you somehow. The wind, let it touch your skin, your face, and sometimes you need to get out there to have that sensation. You can't just stay at home, maybe. I don't know, something like that. Something like that, I think. There's something about touch, like maybe literally touch from another person. If someone touches your skin, it sends certain signals to your brain. It can calm the body down. There are certain hormones, I feel like, or I believe, that are released from the brain when we receive touch, that are calming and relaxing. Something like that, Aquarius, something like that. Okay, overall energy for you, I get liberation. It says breaking free from negative attachment. We see that bird flying away, right? Flying out. So maybe you are liberating yourself here from something. And that could also definitely that could also explain why I got the higher heart chakra involved here somehow. The white dove, almost with a halo around the head here, flying maybe towards the sun. I get something like it's the feeling of, or I was kind of shown like the nest, right, where the eggs are hatched and the dove mother is taking care of the little ones until they are ready to take off themselves, right, to fly out there themselves. It feels a little bit like that, like that maybe you have been in a situation where you feel like either you were the dove mother, right, who needed to take care of the children, and maybe they're leaving home, or the opposite, right, that because something has left, or because something is shifting somehow around you, you can take off, right? You can be the new newly hatched or the newly grown dove here that can fly out there and have your own experience. It's like it feels like a little bit like the teenager, right? That maybe something changes within you here or with you that allows you to feel almost like this newbie that is, that's what I feel like. It could be the sense, again, air here with the bird, something about your voice. Maybe you feel like you are liberated to speak your mind, to be taken literal, that people actually listen, that you feel liberated, that you're not judged, that you are taken into account. Your voice matters, your advice or your knowledge maybe matters somehow. But I also get the strong sense of feeling of leaving the nest, like and it says here breaking free from negative attachment. So what, maybe the nest was negative, right? Maybe the roots or something was negative. It didn't support you. It didn't. And I have that a lot in my readings, like connecting with scapegoats somehow, that have somehow not been given the support and love and care and understanding to actually develop into whole people, whole human beings. This could be the feeling of a starting point. Now I start something new and I feel liberated from whatever may have held me back here. I've had something like a blank, clean slate coming up in some of the other readings. Was it Scorpio, I think? So that there could be something about that, right? That you're offered a new, like a new start of something, but maybe you feel a little bit like a newbie, right? Because all you knew maybe came from those negative attachment, and maybe you have really worked hard to try to liberate yourself from that. So I get like this feeling of like being new, the new kid, the new kid on the block. What's that called? I'm the new one, right? I'm the new arrival, or I'm the new. I just moved here, or I just woke up, or I just realized this, and so I'm starting my journey now with like new understanding. And there's this interesting thing about liberating yourself from attachment is, well, when you are attached to something, you are not on your own. You're not alone, and you're not on your own. That there is someone else or something else here that you have always collaborated with or been connected with somehow. Meaning that you are not alone in something, in a negative dynamic maybe. And even if the dynamic is negative, if we don't know anything else, if this is what we grew up in, if this was our nest all along, liberating ourselves may not be that easy, right? It may have required some work, some choices, some healing, because there's a loyalty often here. There's maybe also codependency. There's a lack of trust in own abilities. So taking this, flying away from the nest here, that has, I feel like there must have been some healing here going on to have this. And then you have this interesting separation thing, because now you are, if you have left the nest, choosing maybe not to return to it, what now? What then? You are now alone here, maybe? As the newbie, maybe feeling a little bit vulnerable, maybe feeling also maybe like the fool, right? I finally got myself out of this and now I'm free. Yeah, great to be free. But administering freedom can also be challenging if you have never had that, right? If you never experienced freedom like that. So what now? Somehow I also get that feeling, what now? Now I'm here, I'm free, which is great. But also maybe I need a direction, right? To take myself now. I liberated myself from something, some change maybe here. Toxic dynamics. What now? Now I fly free here, but where do I want to go? Where do I want to go? So this is like the teenager, right? Moving out, or young adult moving out of the house, figuring out what everything costs and how to manage a household and keep a job and pay taxes and all kinds of stuff, right? This is like this, maybe not literally like that. Maybe it's a new area of knowledge that is opening up for you. Maybe it's a psychic gift. I don't know, right? But maybe something is opening for you here, and you're following, flying here, choosing that. At least the option is here, I want to say, and maybe it's even choosing it without knowing the goal, right? And here you need to trust. You need to trust that I leave something behind, even if it was toxic, and I know it was. It's the only thing I knew. So the liberation may also come with a sense of, yeah, great, but also a feeling of, oh, what's actually out there for me? It's like you have the opportunity to be touched now with everything that is out there. So maybe it's also about you, like choosing wisely here. What feels right for you, right? What feels right for you? If you don't know the compass, if you don't know the North Node, if you don't know the purpose, where the mission, your mission, trust in your, I want to say, higher heart. Trust in what you feel. When you get touched by the world, trust in what you feel. Does it feel good for you? Does it feel like you can trust it? And maybe this is a learning curve, right? Maybe you need to like have some experience out here to decipher whether something is good or bad for you. At the bottom of the deck here, I get the Temptress. Yeah, so the Temptress, it says seduction, deceit, and a broken promise. And now I get even more this idea that I leave something behind to fly out there towards something. But this is underlying energy, so this could also be what you are leaving behind here. Leaving something behind. Take it how it resonates. Maybe you're flying towards this, or you're leaving it behind. I feel like you leave it behind. The Temptress is something that lures us. Broken promises or lost promises or fantasies and illusions, right? And look at how this, like the burning heart here, right? Maybe you have experienced something, Aquarius, that broke your heart somehow. And you have figured out that there was something wrong here, right? That you were seduced or you were deceived, you were lied to, you were betrayed or manipulated, maybe here. And you're figuring out how to liberate yourself, or this is a process you're in. Again, as I said, if this is all you knew, right? If this is all you knew and you know. So flying out there, how can I now decipher I'm not going to meet someone like this again? I'm flying out here. I have some knowledge. I have broken free from something. I feel like the newbie or the teenager. I'm just getting out there again. Maybe on the dating scene or something. Just take it how it resonates. But it's this feeling of I'm free. So what? Now what? Because this was very tempting. I was lured in by it. It was maybe very passionate, very like full of desire. Maybe there was a lot of passion, a lot of I hear it, it feels like raw fire, like something very, I get almost like raw diamond, like it's something that is so rare and maybe raw and precious, and at the same time there's an edge to it. It's a bit maybe a bit dangerous also here. This could be like the bad boy, right? Or the bad girl, like there's this feeling of like they can lure me into damnation somehow. There's this, I get almost scorpionic vibe to this somehow. That there's a seductiveness here that is so appealing and so, but it takes you to a place that where you may feel like you lose yourself. But and this is what I feel like you are somehow really like leaving the nest. You're leaving this, and somehow, because I say nest, I get the feeling, is this someone in your family? Like, are they? It doesn't have to be a woman, right? This is just energy. It's just something that the temptress here. This could be an addiction. Right? This, just take that how it resonates. It doesn't have to be a person. It can be an addiction, like drugs, eating, gambling, whatever. It's something that draws you into a, and I get the feeling you know it, like you know that you can get lost in this somehow. This is it represents something you can get yourself lost in. It can be a trauma bond with someone, like a Stockholm syndrome, if you know something about that, trauma bonding. Feeling of strong limerence. If you don't know what that is, maybe look it up, limerence. Can of course be a person, but it can be, there's this deception here, or there are these, there could be a sense of mysticism, a sense of not being able to figure someone out. Secrets, there could be secrets here. And somehow liberating yourself, flying away from that. But this is maybe the only thing you knew. So now what? Right? I still get that feeling, now what? I got myself out of this, so now what? What am I now going to do then? I feel like I need this deck here today. Okay, let's have a look here. What else can you tell me? Okay, I can get King of Cups in reverse. Maybe you're dealing with a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio here. But someone who may not, maybe they didn't open up to you. Maybe there were secrets. Maybe there were walls around their heart and not open heart here. King of Cups doesn't wear their emotions on their sleeve, and in reverse they definitely don't. They may have had many secrets. Again, it came out as a king. Here we have a woman. Just take it, the energies for what they are, not necessarily gender specific. It could be the feeling this was the love of my life, but I had to like walk away from it. But the liberation only comes or feels as a liberation when the emotional attachment stops or releases. If you still miss someone, if you are still reminiscing, if you still long for someone, you haven't liberated yourself, right? So there is something that needs to happen, I feel like, in between here for something to liberate here. Yeah, I need a card from this deck, I think. This deck here. I want a card in the middle here. Yeah, this is the Nine of Wands. This feels like entrapment, codependency, feeling trapped. This can be an addiction. This is what I talk about. And I want to say, I believe that any kind of addiction, no matter which kind, numbs us somehow to the point that we can't feel, not really. And maybe that's why I got this idea about touch, like let the wind touch you, let the water touch you, let the rain touch you, right? It's like, we know smokers, they say when they stop smoking, it's like suddenly they can smell again. They can, they can, they can, they can taste the food again, right? It's like suddenly, it's like everything becomes more vibrant somehow. Everything becomes more alive around you. That's what I feel like. It's like liberating yourself from some kind of situation where you are numb. You're not feeling what you could feel. You're not experiencing what you could experience. That's what I feel like. And maybe you need to realize that and this could be also what the conjunction is coming up and wants to tell us, that something, that there's more, right? There's more for you to experience and to know and to get to know. But to have that experience, you have to get out there. Like you have to break these timber down here and get out there. And this guy has been showing itself here now several times when I was shuffling at the bottom of the deck. This is the Knight of Swords. So this is an incoming, fast incoming air message, right? This could be Uranus here, coming in here. We see how the wind is actually like blowing in another direction. So he has to use a certain force to come in, right? This is like someone going against the wind, but coming in with some kind of message here. Maybe you receive a message. Maybe you receive an epiphany. Maybe you suddenly have a consciousness change. Maybe something is suddenly so clear to you. Something you may not have. Like maybe you are used to flow with the wind here. Like maybe something is coming in here against all odds. Maybe that is changing something or making you see something about a prison here. maybe an incoming message is helping you to free yourself from something here, right? Maybe this is not an addiction. It could be a situation that you somehow are in, that has made you feel trapped, and something here is allowing you. Again, I see this a little bit like the wind going in one direction and someone wanting to go in the other. Like, again, this idea about flipping something, like it normally people would maybe just have flown in this direction, but you find out something that makes you like flip, right, and go in another direction, or trust something new, do something new, something that is maybe not mainstream, something that is different, right? Because the wind would maybe take us in this direction, right? But this is going against the stream, like a rebellion, maybe. Something is coming in that is allowing you to see something in a different perspective, wanting to flip something around, maybe wanting to change this situation and do something about it, right? Something is definitely coming in that wants to change something. Okay, let's have my Celtic if you are not experiencing something coming in, it could be that you go towards someone or you deliver a message towards someone, even if you know this is probably not going to be received well, right? They may not like it. I'm saying it anyway because someone is trapped here. So I'm saying it anyway. It could be someone doing that to you, like a Uranus, right? Uranus comes in and shakes us up. Maybe we don't like it necessarily, right? We are used to the routines. So maybe we don't welcome it at first until we realize that maybe there's some truth to this, and that there are other options and we can do differently. There are other choices. Okay, how do we want the cards here for Aquarius, please? Let's have a look. So I'm guided to take 2 cards and do this. That I normally don't do that. Yeah, I feel like I should switch this, open it up. The Devil card. Yeah, this is the toxic attachment. We see how there's the Devil here is kind of with his tongue. He is holding 2 small strings here that is holding the masculine, the feminine here. in some kind of dynamic that is that he's like a puppeteer, right? Who can steer something, have a control over something here. Maybe with his words, what he says is something that steers you or has been controlling you somehow. There's something about dominance, there's something about size. So whatever this is, it has to do with size. That could be the feeling that something you have been up against something that it was too big for you to deal with. Like it was too big of a potential damnation, I hear, but take it how it resonates. Like there can be something about, like, yeah, literally size of someone, but it could be volume also. Maybe it has to do with noise or screaming or someone using their words loudly, like therefore they become big, right? Maybe when they become angry, they seem very big, like they become bigger for you, like a monster, right? And you get scared if someone gets angry here. When they show anger, maybe it's like they grow or they become bigger. Too difficult, and you become smaller, right? Like they become so big, so overwhelmingly big somehow. Another card here. I get the Magician. Okay, interesting. So Magician is we say it's Gemini energy, Gemini, Virgo energy. That could be the Knight of Swords also here, right? I don't get much from this card. And that puzzles me a little bit. Maybe it's because it hasn't come in yet. It hasn't arrived yet. Maybe this is you, right? Maybe this is what the conjunction may bring with towards us. Something may happen during nighttime here. This guy has all four elements available to him. That's why he can change what we say lead into gold. He can use, like the law of attraction, he can use different elements to create what he wants. Maybe you have been dealing with a Gemini, and they were the ones creating this scene for you here. I don't get much from this one. It's like either someone in the shadows undetectable, under the radar. That could also be the deceit, right? That it has been difficult even to detect someone's lies, maybe here. He is upright, so I feel like it. He should be with good intentions, this guy. But there's something, I don't know. Why don't I like this card? There's something about this. Okay, interesting. This is interesting. This can be a guide, like a spiritual guide that you may have been working with. I was suddenly drawn to, like, you see his finger here? Like there's kind of light on his finger. And I got to think about the movie called E.T. Like E.T. Phone Home. It's an old movie about an extraterrestrial being landing on Earth and being abandoned, you could say, by his peers. They flee the scene in their spacecraft, and he's left behind. And a young boy finds him, and they become friends, and so on. And we see something about how they connect, and how they get the best friends. They get extremely connected, actually through the heart space connected. When E.T. gets sick, the boy gets sick, and so on. So they are very, very heart connected. This is interesting, Aquarius, because I get the feeling that it's almost like could you somehow be connected with a star being here, maybe, like that is a magician, like they have the opportunity to bring something towards you here, some kind of healing, some kind of light, some kind of knowledge. This is also very interesting because E.T. could actually, with his like light finger here, he could touch like someone. If they had a wounding, he could touch it and heal it with his light finger. With the, it's like he came to Earth from another, you could say, vibrational energy. He came maybe from 5D, 6D, or 7-dimensional energy. So he had healing powers through his lightning finger there, or the light finger. So he could heal wounds by just touching it. Maybe there's something here about, again, this idea about touch, that touch can heal somehow. Maybe we could talk about a magical touch here. Someone has the Midas touch. There's something about touch in your reading here. The Midas touch. of healing, right? And here we have liberation. Maybe you are connecting with something here, an angel or a guiding light, maybe someone you have a heart connection with, like I believe he was called Elliot, and E.T. The boy was called Elliot, and E.T. in that movie. Like they bonded. They had a heart connection. And whenever E.T. was scared, Elliot could feel it. So that there could be this sense of an empath here, being connected with something here. Maybe you and you're not quite aware of it, maybe, or you it could be you, that you have this Midas touch. You have the ability by touch, if you touch someone, that you can heal them somehow, you can help them, even against all odds, maybe. Or someone here is around you, but I got this feeling like this shadow, like it's in a shadow. It could be your shadow, something you haven't woken up in you yet. It's dormant somehow. And look at how we have the stallion here in the background, there's a potential here of something, right? And the last card after these, the next card after these two cards is the King of Swords here, and look how he's dormant, he sleeps here. Oh, sorry, not Swords, King of Pentacles here. This is usually a very abundant king, right? Abundant king, but he's sleeping here. Not woken up, but it's like, yeah, the color makes sense also, like higher heart chakra, that someone is speaking to you here. You may hear something, or someone is giving you some kind of knowledge that may allow you to free yourself from some kind of bondage here. Whoever this is quite interesting. If this is a person in your life, I want to say they could be quite insignificant looking. They could be easily not recognized, easily overlooked, I think. I had a hard time when I looked at the card, it's like I got nothing. Maybe this is what has been going on. You have not been hearing from them. Maybe this is a person you haven't heard from them for a long time. Maybe this is someone you have a heart connection with, like a spiritual guide, and you haven't. It's like they have disappeared or they left or something. And now there may be an incoming connection again here, maybe with someone. Someone has the Midas touch. Someone can heal something here. Or someone is healing. In the movie, this would be the E.T., this guy with the light finger here. So somehow I get the feeling of like a star being. Maybe you're able to connect with like some other dimensional energies here. I said ET phone home, right? Like this feeling, maybe it feels a little bit like a phone calls, that you suddenly have a telepathy or something with some kind of, it could be the feeling you are a channeler. Like if you know those, if you listen to like a channel like Cryon, I believe he is called Lee, the guy who channels Cryon. Cryon is just like a star being. We have also Bashar. Bashar is channeled by someone also. There are several of them. Some are channeling Ashtar, which is also some kind of spiritual extraterrestrial being, like being in contact with someone who maybe you have only been feeling them like through your heart chakra, but you couldn't hear them, like you couldn't hear their voice. But I get the feeling something is coming in here, maybe against all odds. Or they come in with some kind of message which was against all odds. Maybe you discarded it, maybe you thought this would never happen. This can be an apology, right? This can be whatever it is for you. It can be some kind of breakthrough, mind breakthrough here. That you suddenly have a connection with something or someone. Maybe they have only been able to connect with you in trance state, so when you're sleeping. Can I get a card on this magician, please? Quite interesting energy. It's like it wants to I get the feeling like help you release yourself from something here. Again, the left card is signifying past, and this is more future oriented. You could be this one, maybe with help, right, from a star being, a guide. Maybe you become a channeler. But this can also signify that that you're not showing this to people around you, right? That this you go slow with this. The feeling of the newbie again. This, I'm not quite sure what I'm doing, but I'm trying to do something here, spiritual maybe, and I'm just following some kind of guidance, but I'm not quite sure exactly what I'm doing. Again, as I said this, now I freed myself, so now what? And we see him standing here in a dark forest. There isn't much light, right, that can guide him in some direction. He somehow just has to figure it out along the way, I feel like a little bit. But maybe you do have a really strong healing touch. Now this one fell to the floor, so the owl in reverse. So owl is, we have this is the sign of air. And again, the owl is considered to be, and now my throat chakra is acting up, and it came up in reverse. Maybe the communication with someone here has been off. Like the line was off somehow, or blocked, or somehow not open to hear this one, right? The owl is considered to be extremely wise, a wisdom bird here. but feeling maybe maybe you feel like you have been blocked from something here. The owl was just a jumper here, so let's just have a look at. And now I have another one here, Scorpio, and it comes out in reverse. I feel like it's because you're leaving this scorpionic energy. This is something toxic, right? See the venom here from his tail, and this can be a situation that feels like a swamp, that you sit in quicksand and you can't get yourself out. Something that drains you, it draws you down. As I said, it's like there's something about damnation, or it can potentially really ruin your life here. Something can ruin your life. You lose your footing, you lose yourself. This can talk about obsession also. But again, reversed here, I feel like something, you're releasing yourself from something here. That potentially could be very toxic for you. The devil is on the table here as well. This is not easy, right? We could even talk about like a shadow worker here, because it's dark, right? Maybe you're not revealing that you're turning into this one. Slowly but surely, like you're liberating yourself with the use of something here. And maybe a little bit like a newbie, like you're not quite sure, but you're turning more and more into this magician here. Again, there's something about like the shadowy form of the stallion here. Like that could be your vision, right? That you try to keep a vision of creating this, right? Like creating this one. Underneath it all, have the Lover's card here, Twin Flame card for some, maybe. That could be the feeling of being drawn to someone obsessively, maybe feeling trapped by something. The twin flame energy can be extremely difficult to handle. Some see it as the perfect love connection, this beautiful lovey-dovey love connection, and it can feel like that in the beginning if you meet someone like that. But it will eventually turn into something quite different. And that's why we are having, if someone is involved in shadow work here, I think. They are changing their shadow, the connection here, something here. Let's have a look at this magician here. Golden egg, yeah. It's something inside you that is changing here. The golden egg talks about the... and now I have the nest, right? The nest here. I said something about flying from the nest, maybe a toxic nest, right? This is something about decluttering. It talks about like removing every hay straw here, especially if it was toxic, to actually figure out who you are here. What you are deep down, the original you. There are some patterns here, and if we even look closer, I don't know if the camera can get it here, but it's dots. There are dots here that can be connected to create a pattern. There could even be sacred geometry in here. So that there's something about figuring out more about you here. more about you, and potentially opening up for something quite magical. I get the feeling like Midas touch, like you could have a Midas touch, someone could have a Midas touch. And that's what's golden about you here. But somehow, I don't know why he is that shadowy here. It's almost like wanting to keep it a secret. Or it's not to be used randomly. This is for special occasions, or only for certain people, or I'm here to use it for those who can really blossom here, who can become real, true mentors, or real, true leaders, not just egotistical, money-seeking leaders, power-seeking, but someone who can actually really be worthy of that title, right? Yeah, I get that feeling like it's in the shadows, or again, you're just learning to fly as a magician, maybe. I also get the feeling like I want to choose where I put my effort. Where if people find this out about me, everyone would come, right? Everyone would come. Maybe you don't want that. You're still maybe decluttering here, figuring out who you are, or someone is here figuring that out. And in that process can be the feeling that I'm not sure I'm golden, right? I'm not sure that I actually am worthy. I'm not sure I'm good enough. I'm not sure I can do this. I'm not sure I'm a magician. I'm not sure I'm a healer. I'm not sure I can change lead into gold, so become abundant, for instance. I'm not sure I can leave my lack mentality behind. That's the clutter here, right? That's the thing we have to like take apart and change. And then you get to see the gold in you, right? You get to see much more of you. And you connect the dots of certain things that may have happened in your life that have maybe prohibited you from moving forward. So I feel like the reason why he's kind of shadowy is because he's learning. He's still decluttering. He's still growing his potential. He's still figuring stuff out. And maybe the potential or the breakthrough may come. At least the doors open maybe during the conjunction that is coming in here. According to astrology, Earth is moving into the time of Aquarius. So we are moving towards something somehow. And again, there's something about trust here, like trust that you have what it takes. Trust that you can be different. You can change your ways. You can change your entire existence. You can change it for yourself, but you can also change it for maybe those you love. At the bottom of the deck, I get zebra. Zebra is a very like eccentric, good-hearted energy. I get very much Aquarius with this one, even though it shows a fire sign here. The stripes in the background, they that always speaks to me of like the mundane, normal lifestyle of people and society. 9 to 5 job and all kinds of rules and expectations and all this stuff. And then we see this zebra with like different stripes here, right? But this is the underlying energy. This is what wants to come forward. Someone who can stand out here in the spotlight where people can see you. And you are so different, right? You are so different. You're not, this is not someone who just blends in. There could be a little bit of a rebellion. They can have the fire with the zebra indicates that they go towards what they feel is right to do. Actually, I want to take the book because it says it very well. And maybe that's why this magician is shadowy here. Let's just have a look. Just find him here for you. So the zebra is eccentric, creative, and visionary. Zebras are the most precious of gems. They are young at heart, well-cultured, and have an undying curiosity about life. Being in the company of a zebra personality not only is a delight, but also opens your mind. Be prepared. Their potent magic is contagious, and you may soon find yourself in a faraway land, expanding your worldview while having a blast. Zebras also like to contribute to the global health through environmental or volunteer work. This card may be a hint to pack your bags. So when this is balanced, it's worldly, it's enthusiastic, it's fashion forward, and it likes to travel, it likes adventure, but with this, you could say, global health, volunteer work mentality, right? So again, visionary, that could definitely also be Aquarius, right? And young at heart, like the teenager here. I get that feeling, someone. And when you are young at heart, you can be a bit impulsive. You want to go towards the things that you find intriguing and where you feel you can matter, you can make a change in the world, right? So someone from one day to another packing their bags and going to help in a refugee camp somewhere, right? That could be a zebra energy, doing something out of order that is not the normal style, right? What about your job? What about your bills? What about your rent? What about your home? What about all these questions? This one doesn't like that, right? It's like I want to go where I feel like I matter, where I can make a change. And maybe that's also why he's shadowy here, like or dark. It's because I want to go. I want to choose where I want to go here, and I will do so when I am ready, right? When I don't no longer feel like I'm in the making, where I know who I am, right? This one, and this is underlying energy. This is what wants to come forward, what wants to become maybe brave enough to be a zebra, right? Maybe this is about bravery, right? Being brave enough to be the zebra, to stand out there, be visionary, speak your mind and go for it, right? Here. But to do that, we may need to leave the clutter behind here in order for us to become this one. Like truly in your heart, be this one. Especially if you have been dealing with something very detrimental here, something very very hurtful here, and something that is filled with deceit and lies and manipulation and entrapment and isolation, maybe, of feeling imprisoned somehow, codependent, or even worth like bonded to something that really was holding you back from becoming, I want to say, individual, your own individual, not linked with someone else necessarily, and becoming, I want to say, eccentric enough and brave enough and like without baggage here to stand in like who you are here, in authenticity here, no matter what other people, how they may judge you, maybe here. Well, the magician here can be any kind, I want to say, any kind of maybe spiritual healer. Could be like, you could be, we could talk about a shaman here, we can talk about any kind of priest maybe, or witchcraft, any kind of maybe crystal healer, other kind of healer, and actually being able to stand in that, like wear these stripes, right? Because this is who I am, no matter what someone around me may say, no matter how they may judge me, no matter whether they want to like call me back into the stable here, no matter what someone would try to like be big and grumpy and roaring and angry and aggressive or something, I stand my ground here. But I feel like it's in the making. Like it's in the making. The magician is in the making. Like still not quite woken up to the greatness of what you could be, maybe here. So the liberation is here, feeling like a newbie, like the young zebra here. Maybe not quite yet brave enough to wear your stripes. So adapting in the dark, maybe. Adapting, maybe a bit hidden here, a bit hidden. Adapting and decluttering here to find your original voice, who you truly are. Yeah, you get my point here, right? Can I get a card on the devil, please, here for Aquarius? I want to say the Knight in Resort, feeling the Knight of Swords here, feeling like he has to go against the stream or against the wind here. It could be the feeling you literally have to deprogram your mind, like your mind or the wind here. Your mind wants to take you in one direction. But in order to get you out of your entrapment here, you had to go against your own beliefs. You had to maybe change your programming, Again, this reversed, like flipping something around to free yourself, I feel like. So another card on the floor here. Let's have a look. Taeum the Poet. And it's reversed here. Yeah, Taeum the Poet is, I want to say it comes across today as poets have a way to use words to poets can create a certain world, a certain tone or tune with the words they use. They can create an entire universe. They can create a story. They can create a personality, right? With the way they use words and how they speak them, how they choose to, they can lure us with words, right? Whether they are sad poems or beautiful love poems, they can almost become like, if like poets are like actors, right? They can use the words to create a character or create a role or create a scenario, and we can get lured into it, right? We can get lured by the words, by the promises, by the lies, maybe because they want to tempt us, right? Or yeah, the temptress, they want to maybe tempt us to trust them and believe in them, go with them, help them, nurture them, whatever it is. It came out in reverse, so I feel like you have figured this out somehow about someone, and you're not allowing this to tempt you anymore. It can no longer have that effect on you, and that's what I feel like, going against something you would earlier on in life, you would have gotten yourself involved with it because you trusted it, or you felt it was beautiful, or you could feel that they were hurting, maybe that they needed help, or you got attracted to whatever they were preaching, whatever they were saying. You trusted their words, right? You trusted the words. But now I just get the feeling that by flipping, changing your mind here, you have done or are about to, on the brink of doing the impossible, right? You're about to change lead into gold. You're about to change something, a dynamic, change it entirely by using your mind to change your mind. By trusting something and changing your consciousness. And this is where you also become the zebra. You stand out. You're doing something that is not normal or not ordinary. You go against the stream here. You decide to trust something else. And maybe it's a guidance that you have also received, because you somehow are connected with, yeah, I say an ET, a star being, perhaps, yeah. But what you are doing, it's changing something. It gives you a Midas touch. You can now discern something very strongly by maybe only looking at someone. reading energy maybe, or somehow, and therefore you, I still get the feeling of hiding a little bit here. Whatever you're doing, maybe you're not quite sure where it's taking you. Like maybe you don't even know you have a Midas touch here, a healing touch, or someone has. As I said in the beginning, something like maybe you need to let yourself be touched by something, right? The wind, the rain, the sun. Maybe it's someone here that literally you have to like connect with them somehow. And that could be through your higher heart chakra, through the, like a spiritual heart connection somehow. Okay. So the devil card here, let's have a look at this. If I can get something from the fairies here. The Master Maker. The Master Maker card number 22, if that means something to you. Well, when I look at the card, I know it has a meaning in the book, but when I look at the card, it's like this, the top guy here standing on top of the head of someone else here. And it's interesting how he is quite smaller than this one. And I'm also seeing, or at least now, becoming very much aware that he actually stands almost on the third eye chakra here, blocking it perhaps here. The Master Maker for me talks about someone who wants to be on top, being the master, right? Wanting to be the master here of something. The one that holds the torch, the one who is in charge. But somehow there's also something about the way he stands here. Sometimes, I don't know if you recall that, but the Hermit card in tarot usually depicts a person that stands like this, like 1 foot down and the other like that. Or sorry, not the Hermit, the Hangman. Sorry, the Hangman. The Hangman. The Hangman is someone who puts themselves in the tree, takes a break, and seeks enlightenment. So something is puzzling them and they can't seem to figure it out, and therefore they take a time out to figure it out, to find answers, like to find the enlightenment somehow. But it's almost like something has been blocking something here for the other one down here, which is much bigger, which is much more, right? Which is big in consideration of this one, right? Or in comparison with. Standing on the third eye, it's almost like an energy of searching something, looking for some answers, may have been like a blocking, may have blocked something here, may actually have been toxic. Somehow I almost get the feeling, I wouldn't say it's chronic, but almost. Like someone having a chronic hanged man tendency. Like someone who is always somehow looking for some answers, and being in that process is not allowing you freedom. It's like you're always looking for something, some kind of answer, some kind of explanation, some kind of sign, maybe. And that process is like a rabbit hole. It's just keeping you more and more spinned into the wheels of something here. It keeps you entrapped. The more you try to figure out, the more it keeps you trapped. And actually, it, whatever this is, it becomes the master, right? It becomes the master of your mind. So this could indicate almost like a chronic tendency to wanting to analyze everything, looking for answers, looking for signs, wanting to figure something out that is maybe not for you to figure out. But it's almost like it has landed on your head, and now it can't seem to, or it doesn't want to move away, right? It doesn't want to leave. And when it's not leaving, it's not allowing you to become the master. It's like it presses you down and down and down here somehow. And an analyzing factor or something here. Maybe a strategizing, analyzing, detective kind of vibe or tendency here becomes the master. Maybe that has been the master of your mind. That maybe that's how you have been living your life, that you have always had this something here, that a part of your brain that analyzes everything, or that seeks strategy, or seeks solutions, or looks for signs, looks for explanations, looks for answers. But when you are in that mode, it's like you can't relax. It's like a puzzle that never solves. And this is the one who seeks the new puzzle, right? It's the missing piece. This is like a tendency to look for a missing piece. It could be a part of your brain, right, that somehow operates like that. It looks for missing pieces. But it comes up as the devil card. Maybe this is something that is existing within you, like you maybe you have a tendency to do that. And that part of your brain, you could say, or that part of you wants that to be in control, right? It wants to know. It looks for the missing piece because it wants to be in control. It wants to be on top. It wants to know. It wants to be able to plan. It wants to be able to like plan an attack or plan a defense or something like that. But it keeps your mind constantly occupied, right? And therefore you're not releasing something here about maybe a certain situation, but it's almost like it locked in on your brain somehow. Something locked in on your brain keeps you constantly searching, looking for some missing piece, some kind of sign, some kind of explanation, something that, and that's maybe why I get the trapped card here, this entrapment, like an obsessive puzzle seeking, solution seeking kind of tendency, almost chronic, I want to say. But it has blocked your third eye, I think, here. Like the entrapment of some kind of temptress here. And I want to say, if you're dealing with a twin flame here, yeah, you could definitely be feeling that. Something that lures you somehow, but it also may feel like a rabbit hole. Like I can't, I never finish, I never find that missing piece. So now I actually have to battle my own mind. I have to go in another direction, even though I feel so strongly towards this belief. Even though I feel so strongly this is my twin flame. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. You still have to battle something maybe inside yourself here. Maybe outside yourself as well. But just take it how it resonates here. But it's something that potentially can take over your mind, I want to say. It can become an obsessive thinking here. It can become an obsessive thinking. And look at, he's naked here, and he stands quite satisfied here, like he's entitled to be there somehow. Can be another person that's on your mind, and it just feels like it has taken almost a chronic, that it has become a chronic thorn in your eye somehow. Take it how it resonates, right? A chronic thorn in your third eye. But I look at his like contentment here, like this satisfied, entitled, maybe I'm on top here, I'm in charge. I'm the one who pulls the strings here. Yeah, pulls the strings. I'm the one who pulls the strings here. The strings. But then also look at how we have a similar vibe from the magician here. Also holding a wand with light here. And that's why you're doing it behind the scenes. I feel like maybe this is like you're working with your subconscious here. Maybe you're working with your subconscious. This is like something going on consciously when you are awake. He stands, there's light on him, right? He stands in the spotlight here. This guy, though, not quite. More in the moonlight. I have the feeling you're changing something here. Could be within your own brain. Like you're changing something into something else. Does that make sense somehow? I don't know. It's just that's what I feel like. Quite interesting. At the bottom of the deck for the Master Maker here, I get Tailing the Sylph. She actually showed herself when I was shuffling also, so I think she's prominent also. Let's have a look. 45. So, she talks about, she looks a bit like Tinkerbell, I think, this one. Okay. Tailing the Sylph is about acute intellect, quickness, mental synthesis, and discernment. Tintin glitters and glimmers brightly. She scatters a special fairy dust that energizes the mind. However, energy is not everything, and the fairy dust that actually makes mind brighter as well as more energized are more rare. And she distributes it much less often. That's what there's something about like choosing wisely how to use the fairy dust here, maybe. Okay. She distributes it much less often. She's full of curiosity and wants to go everywhere, see everything, and have every question answered. Like the 2-year-old asking, why, why? She wants to know all, even the things that by their very nature cannot be known to the conscious mind. Yeah, that's like the puzzle piece seeking 3-year-old, right? That is eager to get to know stuff. Very Gemini-like, actually. Tintin reminds us that ideas cannot be confined. They are wild and free, they move fast. Some ideas are more contagious than the flu, and they move quickly from head to head. Sometimes illumination and sometimes burning out, with a flicker and a flash and a faint whiff of ash. Brian wrote, "The sylph is a fragment of the earth's soul in fairy form. In the fairy realm, light comes not from above, but from within. Like other fairies, sylphs light up the world around them, energizing all who come into contact with them with their quick fairy radiance. We humans also light up the world around us with our own auras. It's a pity that so few of us have learned the mental discipline to be able to perceive that light. However, Tintin is not the one to consult about that. What Tintin bestows is more ephemeral, but nevertheless of value. She is an awakener. Yeah, so here it comes, right? The great awakener. She is an awakener, one who startles us into seeing and thinking in new and exciting ways. She loves to sit in on teenage and college age discussions about the profound questions of life. She's full of bright ideas and willing to discuss them at length. She's not too bothered about whether the discussions make more sense or not. Ideas with wings are her joy, and mental stimulation is her game. Tintin has flight like thought. She is not bound by the rules of mass and momentum. Therefore, she can radically change direction without notice more quickly than a hummingbird. What we see here is mental quickness, adaptability, and enthusiasm. Ideas and options abound. A few are brilliant, but others vary from mediocre to downward silly. Be selective. Mental and psychic abilities may be awakening. Independent thinking is in operation. New ideas and new versions of old ideas are creating an exciting atmosphere. Avoid excess and extremes. Minds can change often as little ideas and new ways of seeing bubble to the surface. Out of conflict or confusion, resolved by goodwill and clear thinking, a new and better understanding may come. Yeah, that's what I actually feel like I've said in the beginning also, right? That something new is coming in. But it's the bottom of the deck card for the Master Maker and the Devil card. So I feel like what you are changing here is actually you're changing something about your mind. The third eye, perhaps. Seeing new stuff, seeing new visions, having new psychic abilities because it has been stuck in something. Something about your mind was blocked here somehow, but you have changed that. So from being maybe blocked or even stuck in a way of thinking and seeing the world and everything around you, you have now released this more, I feel like, entitled Master Maker here. You are changing him into the Hermit here. And when you're doing that, you open the third eye chakra up again here, and you will have incoming like fairy dust here. That's at least the potential, I feel like, with this reading, that's an opportunity here. That you're liberating yourself from some way of thinking, I believe. And when you do that, you open up something entirely new here. And there may be incoming streams of ideas. And not all of them are bright and good, right? But instead of using your mind to analyze maybe an old situation, a stuck situation, looking for signs and stuff from something old here, you're now opening yourself up towards the future. And with that liberation here, you become the newbie, right? You become the young at heart. You become the young zebra, the young magician, the young fairy here that is still learning and figuring out. And yeah, there can be ideas coming up. And maybe not all of them are great. Some are brilliant, some are not. And you're not supposed to linger with all of them. But try to decipher which one could actually be like the compass, right? The north node, which one could be good for you here. Could actually bring you further out there, right? Could get you closer to your purpose in life, maybe. As a healer, potentially a great healer here. But I feel like, again, this holding back somehow, keeping it in the shadows still, or keeping it secret, that you're not quite sure yet what kind of healer you may be, what kind of person you are. And even if you want it, right? Because an awakening may mean that you change your perspective about life. Maybe you need to change your life. And that becomes more and more obvious to you that you can't stay the same. Maybe you really feel like, I've always been a solid Christian, and I have a beautiful house and family and children, and we are invested in the local community and everything. And now I feel like I want to be a hermit. I want to go to Tibet, right? I want to become a Buddhist. I want to be a monk here. I want to dedicate myself to some kind of spiritual purpose. I want to be someone who has, I suddenly have a different vision. I become a different visionary person. I feel like I have a different purpose or mission in life. I want to create or do something else. But that may mean that I have to declutter from my ordinary life. I have to get all kinds of responsibilities or contracts maybe out of the way. I have to release myself from some kind of codependency or commitment, attachment here. And that is a process. And also choosing maybe to say, let's say you want to be a shaman here. Like, do I really want to commit myself to that? Is that me? Is that who I am? Do I see myself as that? This could be someone who becomes an astrologer. Right, you Aquarius, this could be someone becoming a physicist, someone like strong mathematic skills. It could be like an astronomer. Like having some very like eccentric, different hobbies or different life choices. And that may not just be something you do overnight. Like maybe you literally have to get yourself out of the mainstream hamster wheel, you could say, right? That feeling. And the more and more you get yourself out, the more and more of this gets revealed to you. But not just overnight. It's not a quick fix, it's not a quick choice. It may come with opposition, and that's maybe why I also say that you need maybe to like switch your entire existence around, your entire understanding about yourself and where you come from, why you are here. But this is your soul speaking, right? The golden egg, this is what's inside you, your soul. What is maybe has been, we see how the egg is residing in the secure nest here. Or maybe it was dysfunctional, but at least it has been preserved here. It's still here, right? It's still golden, it still shines, it still glimmers. It still has value here. But the decluttering phase may also talk about what your little soul here has been enduring, right? Maybe there's a lot of guilt here, and shame, and blame, and sadness, and tears, and misery, suffering, grief here that you need to release to find out that this is you. Maybe that's why he is dormant here, right? That he's sleeping, that it has been preserved in time. You have tried to keep it safe here, but there is a lot of stuff around you. We already know that it has to do with negative attachment here. That there's a lot of stuff around you here that has not been very supportive. I think the nest has not been very supportive. So you have to get rid of some of this in order to find out what this is. But I feel like you're getting closer. The liberation is definitely here. See also how he's flying now towards what I said it was like a halo or like the sun. But maybe it's the egg, right? That he's finally figuring this out, right? And flying towards it. But again, with this feeling of, now I'm alone, right? I'm a magician. Okay, I have figured that out. But this is not well liked in my family, perhaps. So I have to tread carefully still. I'm still learning. I'm still trying to figure out what this means for me, who I am, literally, truly, and becoming more and more maybe conscious about this, more and more trusting it, maybe also more and more, but it may still take time. Again, the shadowy stallion here is still in the background. Maybe it hasn't come to fruition yet. But I feel like something happens that is making you able to liberate yourself and go towards literally figuring out what the golden egg is for you here. Okay, can we have a card on that maybe? Can we have a card on the golden egg and the liberation phase here too? We could even say this is the feeling of connecting with it, like connecting with it, being in it, like being connected with it, right? Being connected with it. What is this golden egg, please? For Aquarius. It could be this sense of guidance, right? That you're finally connected with the guidance again. The third eye here is opening. That you finally change something here. That unblocked that third eye. So let's have a look. What is the golden egg here? What is this golden egg for Aquarius, please? The fawn. Okay, let's have a look here. Is the card number 35, if that means something to you? 35. The fawn. The fawn talks about understanding the nature of nature, natural wisdom and natural magic. The merry, irrepressible fawn dancing in the garden, frolicking in the woods, playing in the meadows, sings out, "Come, dance with me." It is he who knows the secret of nature. He knows where the robin's nestling are hidden, where the mice lurk, who lives down the rabbit barrow, and where the pixies like to dance. He teaches us to understand, appreciate, and express the part of ourselves that dances in the moonlight with the fairies, sings to the dawn stars with the birds, and hums with the blossoming flowers. This is also the part of us that plants seed with a loving pat that says, "Bless you and grow," and provides healing energy for doing just that. No fuss, no bother, just intention and natural human magic. Natural magic is simple. We are all full of it. And the more we are true to our own nature, the more we have access to our own magic. When we are caught up in believing in limitations imposed by ourselves or our culture, we inhibit the flow of energy, which is the melody of ecstasis' song of the cosmos, as it sweeps through us. Opening ourselves back up to that song can be a long and complex business once we have closed down in some way. It requires a great deal of thought and self-observation, and perhaps also the help of others in the form of formal therapy or simple friendship. However, the process of opening is made easier and more gentle if we allow Mama Nature and our own natural magic to help. Spending time in our gardens, our parks, our forests, and open spaces helps us to reconnect. But so does growing herbs and flowers and scented geraniums in pots in our window window aisles. So does looking at the stars, observing the state of the sky, and listening to the wind. It helps us. It helps if we simply observe the natural processes and changes around us. Mama Nature is also and always up to something. Not natural, no natural place is the same for 2 moments in a row. Life is about process, not stasis. We are processes, not things. We constantly change, even when we resist, even when we think we are stuck. Come with me, sings the fawn, tugging our hand. It certainly is futile to struggle against the flow of the universe, so we might as well dance with it. Stuckness is an illusion. The fawn says, dance with me, and it will all come right. And do you know, he's right. At least many of the blocks in ourselves and our lives will come right much more quickly if we reconnect with him, opening our hearts to him and Mama Nature. They too are filled with magic, just like us. Yeah, so there's definitely something about opening up and trusting and that you have this inside you. You have this beautiful dancing fawn that just wants to be lifted up and be happy and joyful and magical. And yeah, the magician is here, right? It's definitely a and look. Look, maybe the similarity, I don't know if you can see it, but sometimes I see it almost a little bit like a horse here with the 2 eyes and the nose down here, ears or something like that, and how this resembles maybe a little bit of the horse-like head here of the zebra. But so you have this inside you, right? It's just choosing it, right? And the opportunity is definitely here. So the golden egg, you could say, has to do with that. And the King of Pentacles is actually holding this golden pentacle here, right? I feel like it's dormant, or it has been dormant, it has been repressed, or maybe not achieved, or not, maybe you haven't believed in it somehow. But I think it's available. Actually, it's almost like you can connect with this, right? As soon as you liberate yourself, it's like you can connect, or reconnect maybe even here with something there's potential. There's so much potential here. But why I still have the feeling, as I said in the very beginning with the liberation card, this feeling of, okay, I want to liberate myself. I have liberated myself. Now what? Like this feeling, so I'm alone now. I'm on my own now. To now establish whatever good it is. I just have to trust my inner heart. I have to trust what's in me. I still feel a bit resistance though. Can we have a card on that? Maybe a guiding card here, an advice. If someone feels resistance, what may help them besides walking in nature, observing the stars, observing yourself perhaps, observing what makes your soul shrink, what makes you less happy or less trusting, right? Can we have a card on if someone feels resistance, or maybe still doubting something here, or not knowing how to open up perhaps? I feel like you can simply ask for the fawn to open itself, right? To show itself. but you also have to not engage in like a lot of negative stuff then, right? Try to keep yourself as light as possible. Maybe sit in nature, ask that you connect with the phone, right? Maybe just for 5 minutes a time, right? Maybe a full connection is too much. I don't know. That it has to be a step-by-step process. Even if it's beautiful, it may still feel like a bit overwhelming. The spiral dancer, yeah, again, this the spiral dancer, again, a dance scenario. I feel like this is like the fawn. It says circuitous root and perception, card number 5. Look how she's like spinning like these circles of fairy dust here, of brightness. The spiral dancer. I get like the feeling the more you connect with this, the more is returned to you. Like the more you allow yourself to trust in the fawn, in what's inside you here, the opportunity, the abundance inside, the more you connect with it, the more it comes back to you, right? The more is returned to you. That's why it's a spiral. Like it, if you invest time in it now, it's not wasted. It's like it comes back around for you to connect with it again. Let's have a look here. Spiral dancer. So this is the Wisdom of the Hidden Realm by Colette Baron Reid. It's a card number 5. 5 talks about change. Can even say sudden change, eruptive change, and that could definitely be Uranus coming in here with this very rare, massive awakening for all of us here. So just again, I feel like during the time from maybe, let's say, the 29th to the 3rd and 4th of August, 29th of July until the 3rd or 4th of August, just really try to stay in good company, relax, breathe, take your time, meditate, go slow, allow a process to happen, allow something to occur, maybe. Okay. These cards always have like an ally or a challenger. So I will read both of you because I feel like there could be a sense of resistance. Like, can I trust this? Like, I know what I have. I don't know where I come from. As I said in the beginning, we get used to the bad stuff. It becomes our normal. So suddenly changing that into something very abundant maybe, and very bright and light and beautiful and lovely, that may actually feel a bit strange or even dangerous. So I read both for you here. So as an ally, the spiral dancer moves with her own rhythm and steps to music only she can hear. She takes you on a path that is winding and circular. She assures you that what you are experiencing is, as a setback, is really part of an upward spiral. Perception is everything. You are not retracing your steps or going backwards, but rather around and up. She says that you can be comforted, knowing that your path is one of success, adventure, and experience. Follow her, for she dances along a magical way. If you are asking about a relationship, keep on dancing and magic will soon happen. Also, it's okay to allow someone else to take the lead at this time. Make sure to let others know that you're open. Always remember that relationships are mirrors and will show you the past, the present, and the potential future. All relationships have a destination. Each is a sacred teacher with valuable lessons to share. Even if it appears that the two of you are dancing in different directions, all of the steps are perfect, even when you may seem to be stumbling. The spiral dancer is a reminder that destiny's true path is seldom straight. So you see, there can be ups and downs even with the spiral dancer as an ally here, right? So if you're dealing with a twin flame or a very, very strong soulmate or love connection here, as I said with the Lovers card I showed you earlier, something that may have felt like a rabbit hole, like a repeating addictive pattern maybe. You are moving upwards if you trust in her, right? If you trust in your fawn, if you trust in her, in the dance you're making, right? So again, your perception is everything. As a challenger, it seems as if you are getting caught up, you're caught out of breath, going in the wrong direction. Sometimes you are so busy dancing to your own tune that you find yourself out of step with everyone else. Perhaps now is the time to regroup, sit down, and rest for a while until the rhythm calls you to the dance again. The spiral dancer is a gentle one. So be still and know that you are always loved. If your question is about a relationship, don't be too assertive now. This is the time to be receptive and allow someone else to take the lead and show his or her true nature to you. At the same time, be careful of being manipulated. You will know the truth about your situation clearly if you sit this dance out and observe. As I said, maybe during the most potent days around the 29th of July to the maybe 4th and of August, this is where Mars is also present. So with the fire and the more impulsive or maybe active energy is there. So maybe you need to breathe during this time. Just relax and trust yourself, right? Be trusting with yourself. Dance your own slow dance here and to your own tune. And if someone else is supposed to come in, they will, I feel like. And if the time is not right for them, then maybe they are not coming, but it doesn't matter. They're not ready then, right? To see you for who you truly are here. And that's maybe very important, actually, that you can be yourself, that you can stand like authentically here, right? And the bottom of the deck, I get the Horse King. So this card for me always talks about, even though it says assistance and control here, yet be discerning about what actually feels like support for you or what may feel like control, because the control is just moving backwards or feeling you get trapped again somehow. Look at how the horse is bowing down to this Horse King, right? There's something about control here again, where I feel like your fawn, again this horse image thing, your fawn here is not needing to bow down, right? It needs to be released somehow. So be mindful about whether you try to control something, a process within yourself that is trying to grow, or whether you actually want to assist the growth process here. Or if someone is around you that may prohibit you from like continuing on your growth path, right? Yeah, this is what I feel like I have for you. This card has been staring at me somehow, and I haven't taken it, but I feel like I want to take it now. For some reason, Temperance, yeah, divine timing, right? Allow for the time to be right. Temperance card is usually around bringing something into balance, but it may take a while. It may really take a while to get something that has been so toxic and out of balance into balance. So we have to be patient also here somehow. Temperance is here. It's a major arcana. It's here. It wants to help. The Magician here, Devil here, they are major arcanas. It is definitely maturing. It's becoming more and more, but maybe not quite there yet. Be patient here. Be patient. Be patient with yourself also, I feel like. And maybe that's not the best thing to say to an Aquarius, right? But that's what I get from the cards here. Yeah. This is what I have for you. I hope this helped you somehow. I wish you the very best out there. Take care of yourself. Love and light to you. Bye-bye.